Hello and welcome to the Right Passion Podcast, where we delve into the fascinating world of superheroes. I'm your host, Demetrius Wright, and this is the first installment of the video podcast. In this video, we're going to touch on the superheroes Power Rangers Ninja Storm. This show aired in 2003 on Disney Channel, and it follows three main protagonists: Shane, Tori, and Dustin. They're the three Power Rangers. So sit back, open your ears, and get ready to uncover resilience, teamwork, and the indomitable spirit of a ninja. So who are Shane, Tori, and Dustin? These are three teenagers that were in this ninja dojo trying to become Power Rangers. Well, not necessarily Power Rangers, but they wanted to become ninjas. And they weren't too good. At first, they were lazy, stereotypical teenagers, not good with time management. You get the gist. But tragedy struck their dojo. They ended up being the only three ninjas left from Luther, the main antagonist's attack. His attack was so vital and crazy that it basically leveled their dojo and left them as the only three ninjas. They then took on the mantles of Power Rangers. That is where Power Rangers Ninja Storm was born. Shane was the leader, the Red Ranger, Tori, the Blue Ranger, and Dustin, the Yellow Ranger. They all had their specific powers and individual talents that also played a part into which ranger was chosen for them. And we can learn a lot from these ninjas, this Power Rangers show, and we're going to touch on it right now. Number one, first thing, embracing diversity. Shane, Tori, and Dustin, they all come from different walks of life. When I mean that, they're diverse as can be. Shane, he loves to skateboard. Tori, she loves surfing. And Dustin, motocross. He loves riding on his bike. He loved it. All three of them were not masters, but amateurs in their craft. They enjoyed doing what they did and did it every single day. Now, when they came to be the Power Rangers, they were embracing their diversity. They embraced each other's skills. How Shane is great with the skateboard, he used that as his power to command being the leader of the Power Rangers. Tori, very great with the water. She loved surfing. And then Dustin, he loves dirt because he's motocross, enjoys riding bikes. But if we go deeper into that, we look at all three of them again, not only from their talents, but for what their personalities were. Shane was a lone wolf. He was okay with going out on his own and being himself. Tori, she was just like how she is on the water. She loves being around people. She's open, compassionate, nice. And then Dustin is earth. He's rugged. He's just, I guess you could call him a man's man. He doesn't know too much, but he's just happy to tag along. And when they brought all these things together, they were able to become this unstoppable force. They were embracing each other and okay with each other's differences. Now, in our life, we can take that and use that too. When you meet people, they might not eat the same thing as you, learn the same way you do, or tackle challenges the same way you do. But it's not a negative, more so look at it as a positive. Don't go through life with a fixed mindset. Have more of an open mindset. When you have an open mindset, you're open to learning these different aspects and perspectives from people in their life. And I believe, I'm not saying all diversity is just perspective, but you can learn different perspectives from people and embracing it. You can learn how to cook different dishes, tackle challenges a new way, even maybe cope with stress in different ways. Right now, in the Western world or the U.S., United States, wherever you're from, but I'm talking about the U.S. mainly. There's this trend that's going on where TikTok and social medias are just pushing out natural remedies that are coming from different cultures. And when I say remedies, I mean answers to common allergies, diseases, cures are coming out. And people are using cures or medicines or herbs from different areas, cultures, and things. This is an example of embracing diversity because they're able to use those medicines and herbs to heal their bodies, and they're seeing the success in it. So in embracing diversity, you're able to learn from a different culture or perspective. Your mind is open, you're learning, and you're becoming better. And why do I say lastly you're becoming better? Because now you know something that most people in your culture may or may not know. And if you want to get ahead, a quick and easy way to do that is to learn and be open to new ideas. Number 2, strength and unity. Whenever you hear about Power Rangers, it's usually a team. And that's all Power Rangers. Now, for Ninja Storm, mainly, they come together and they utilize everyone's individual strengths. Now, as I said before, everybody's different. They have their own, Shane, Tori, and Dustin have their own skills and strengths. And it's not until they bring it together that they learn the power of teamwork and unity. So, in the first 3 episodes, by the 3rd episode, Shane is fed up. He's a lone wolf, as I said. He does not like being a part of a group. And when they go through their training modules, they get demolished by the enemy. They get taken out. It's hard for them to win, and they just keep losing repeatedly. And Shane still doesn't learn. Tori and Dustin understand that they must be humble and work together as a team, but Shane just doesn't get it. So he goes out in the real world and actually fights a foe, and he almost loses until he realizes, I need my team. So he calls on his team, and when they come together, it's a beautiful thing because their force overwhelms that somewhat insurmountable foe or monster that is about to destroy the world. They're able to use their strength and unity and take him out with ease. What took Shane about an hour or 2 took him less with his buddies, with his team. And that is just a perfect. Now, as I said, you can keep going on. There's more shows and episodes of them working together as a team, but it just shows working together as a team, you're able to tackle projects that were bigger than you or you thought were mountains. But with a team, you cut that time down in half or even are able to do it in less time. So that just bleeds into what I'm saying right now. Whenever you're taking on challenges in your life or you're in your career and want to make some big changes, do it with a team of people. Find a team of people that can help you get that same challenge or project done and utilize it. Put it together. You might have to put the team together yourself. Figure out who would be good to be on your team, how they help you, what areas they make up for your lack of skill, and implement that. This is another thing I like about team and teamwork: accountability. Accountability, because I say with a team, you're able to get that thing done and hold yourself up to that bar. They'll hold you accountable because they know how much it means to you, what goes into that said activity to get it done, and being consistent, staying consistent in it. They're going to make sure that you not only say what you're going to do, you do it too. And that is very, very vital in getting challenges, projects, and things like that finished. Because if you want to grow in this world, get better, and take on tasks that might seem like they're out of reach, you have to develop a team. The team is going to help you not only to get further, but you're going to learn how to work with people. And that's another thing. Working with people will get you further in life than not working with people. Because you have to understand, we're social creatures. We want to have camaraderie or be in a team or a family. So when you're able to work with people, understand them, utilize their strengths, and use it to help you, aid you in whatever endeavor you're doing in life, you can just best believe whatever you're trying to get done is done. You don't have to worry. You find the right people and you put the right systems in place and have them holding you accountable, all that work is getting done. It's getting done. It's only a matter of time, actually, before it gets done. And as I said with the Power Rangers, when they unite, 9 times out of 10, or I say 10 times out of 10, that foe that they're facing is getting defeated. Go look through it. Now, the times that they lost, they learned, and they came back and still defeated them. Number 3, unleash your inner potential. We all have untapped potential in us. And the ninjas, Power Rangers Ninja Storm, they showed this perfectly. When they got their morphers, they were able to see that they had potential flowing within them. Shane, air, he had air. Tori, water. And Dustin was earth. Now, they all understood it, and they understood that their potential could be unleashed whether they're in morph form or they're in civilian form. And knowing that helped them whenever they need to pull the cat out of the bag. So say they're just walking down the street and then they see a foe. They can just, instead of changing into that Power Ranger because people are around, they can just use their ninja skills to defend themselves until they can get to where they need to be to use the skill. This is vital. They tap into their ninja powers on demand, and that is amazing. All Power Rangers do it, but theirs, I just like it because the way that they did it, and you can go look at it too, they did it with a fluidity. Like, the way that they did it was so, what's the word? It wasn't forced. It was like they were in the flow. And maybe it's because they're ninjas, but they were able to use their powers and just not force anything. It just came and went. And I like this power that they have, especially whenever they want to run away or get somewhere fast. They just do this ninja hop and they just go so fast. They just explode from where they're at right now. So like me right here, they'll go 3, 4, 5 blocks in 1 second. And you're like, where'd they go? But why am I saying this? Because we don't have superpowers. I know, I'm like, what? Dude, I don't have no superpowers. What are you talking about? We do. It's just not how theirs are. It's not like Ninja Storm Ranger form. We can't morph like them. But we have talents, goals, and ambitions in our life. So, unleash your inner potential. Sit down, look at your talents, make goals off of them, and then implement systems. Figure out what it is that you want to do in this life and unleash that untapped potential. Right now, I'm doing it. I'm taking a strike out on luck, recording this podcast and figuring out how it's going to work. And you got to do that too. Figure out what it is that you want to do, make a goal, and then implement systems and go after it. Don't just sit around and be like, I want to do this. No, you need to go write it down and do it. If you don't write it down and do it, it's never going to get done. The last one I forgot was dreams. I didn't put dreams because we all dream. And most people, when they go to sleep, they want to stay in that dream until they wake up. And that dream is just forgotten. So I like dreams, but it's not me. It's not my cup of tea. But unleash it. Figure out what it is that you want to do and go tap into it and do it. Stop waiting around. Because the Power Rangers, when they got into situations where they had to survive, Do you think they waited around to morph or use their powers? No, because if they did, that 1 second of hesitation or failure to use their power could either get them captured, destroyed, or they lose their morpher, because they had foes out there that wanted to take their powers or use them or whatever it was. So think about it like that in your life. There's untapped potentials that you want. If you don't use it, you might lose it. Like when you're working out. If for those of you that do work out, if you don't work out, if you don't work a certain muscle, you will lose that muscle quick and fast. You'll be so strong one day, and then years later will pass. You never use the muscle, so it's just dormant. And when you try and use it again, nothing comes of it. And you're just looking around. You're like, why is my power or why is my strength gone? It's gone because you did not utilize that muscle the right way. And when you don't utilize it the right way, you lose it. So unleash them and follow this too. Use it or you'll lose it. The last point number 4, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, it applies to everything. These heroes, they had to believe in themselves for their powers to just unleash, like you said, and to unleash your inner potential. For these powers to be unlocked, they had to believe in themselves. They had to know, they had to have that self-belief to the point where if you tell them 2 + 2 is 4, they would say no, it's 5. And they could be so wrong, but they know in their mind they're right. You gotta have that. It's almost like it's delusional self-belief, but do what you can to get that belief into you, because that belief is the ignition to your car. Ninja Storm, they show us Shane. Actually, not even Shane. I want to go to a particular episode. There was one episode where there was a villain. I forgot his name, but the villain was basically creating everybody's worst fears and trapping them in that reality. And all the heroes, all 3 of our heroes, were swamped and put in that reality. It sucked. They hated it. So Shane, because I remember his notably, his was that his brother was telling him he was less than, he was no good, he was a failure, and that everything that he did was for nothing. It was meaningless. And the only way that he was able to escape that reality is for him to go back to that self-belief. That self-belief was the thing that helped him get up out of that realm of darkness, fear, and pain. We got to do that too. We have to use it. And in general, these Power Rangers, when they morph and they get ready to take on these foes, they face uncertainty and doubt every time they step onto that battlefield. They don't go out there thinking, I mean, they do have belief that they'll win, but they don't go out there knowing what's going to happen. Like when they lost their Zords to the Dark Power Rangers, do you think they knew that they were going to lose the Zords? No. So it's a lot of uncertainty, and I bet you good money they have their doubts. Only thing is, they don't listen to their doubts. So what? How can how do they do it? So I'll give you an example. So let's say right now I've got Spawn, Spider-Man. Let's say Spider-Man is my self-belief and Spawn is the doubt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen more to Spider-Man than Spawn. That's what these Power Rangers do. They basically make the voices real distinct and they differentiate the two. And then you can't stop either one of them. They just listen to one more than the other. So when they do that, they're able to use their powers and actually fight against the foe or the challenges and situations that they're going against. If you listen to your doubts more than your self-belief, the doubt is going to win out. The doubt will undoubtedly, that's funny, undoubtedly, no pun intended, take you over. It'll destroy you. you won't be able to be the person who you need to be to take on those tasks. And that's what I'm tying into us. We have to learn to cut out that voice, or not necessarily cut it out. Keep it there as a keep it there for a reason, because it's good. You can use it when you need to basically get yourself going. Because sometimes doubt is motivating for certain people. Like me, my doubts, I eat them for breakfast. I love them because when I think I can't do something, that excites me even more, because now I'm about to do it and it scares me. And uncertainty too. As I said, Power Rangers, any superhero really, they're not ready for whatever happens. They just go and do it. And that self-belief helps them. And the uncertainty can show in many different ways. Let's go to our world. In our world, uncertainty and doubt can come up as anxiety. People shaking, their voice going in and out, or just them being very avoidant. And self-belief is going to help you to tackle those two things. It's not easy. It is by far not the easiest thing, because when most people are faced with uncertainty and doubt, what do? They run. They run, or they just don't face it at all. And that's understandable, because his life is not easy. Life is like a war zone, if you're asking me, because it's going to be situations and circumstances that you're not ready for or even knew could happen. It's a book that talks about it. It's The Psychology of Money. There's these things called field mice. In that book, they talk about how these soldiers went to war. They had these tanks and they were ready for anything. They triple checked the tanks. They were ready and they were about to go take on the enemy. Now, when they got to the enemy lines, they were trying to use the tanks and the tanks didn't work. And they're like, man, what's going on? Why is my tank not? It's malfunctioning. What happened? And they found out that mice, rats and mice, field mice, they came in and they chewed the cords. Something that small came into the actual tank and messed up the whole system. And when it did this, it threw off the whole army's plan and strategy. But they still went out there and did what they needed to do. Now, Power Rangers, all the time, stuff happens and they still have to do what they need to do. You in your life, that might happen. You might go out to work and your car breaks down, or you get a flat tire. And then doubt starts to creep in, or uncertainty. I'm not saying you have to push through that. Figure out a way to get through that. And if it means calling someone, getting help, and that's fine, because they're helping you to empower that self-belief. Because you don't want to empower that doubt by not asking for help or getting anyone that can help you in that situation and circumstance. Because life is hard and stuff is going to happen. But you want to find people that are going to help you to improve your self-belief. Find people, situations, and circumstances that are going to help you to actually, rather than just feeding straight into self-doubt. If you have people in your life that are putting into the self-doubt, I'm not going to say cut them off. Do not cut them off, but just limit your time around them. You want to be around people that make you feel good, that empower you, and make you feel like somebody. These people help you to understand your gifts, your truths, and as I said, back to it, inspire you and help you to garner or grow that self-belief. Because that's really it at the end of the day. After everything I said for the Power Rangers, self-belief is at the top. Because for them to be the Ranger that saves the day, they have to have that belief that whoever comes in their way, they're winning every time. Not even 9 times out of 10. I'm talking about 11 times out of 10. They know that they know that they know that they know they will win. Some people might call it delusional belief. Sometimes you might need that in taking on projects and foes or life situations and circumstances, because life is going to get hard. It's not easy and it's not fun. I don't care what anybody says. It is hard, and things are going to come up that you did not even know were possible. But it's okay, because you're going to have those people in your corner that's going to help you to grow the self-belief. And the people that are doubters and naysayers or feed into this side of your mind or your voice, as I said, you can cut them off if you want, or you can just limit your time around them. The goal is to grow the self-belief to the point that you don't need anyone to tell you that they believe in you. You believe in yourself. I heard it from another podcast. His name is Dre Baldwin. You want to be at this level with your belief, not here, not there. You want to be right here. So if somebody says something to you, the old you would go up and down or whatever. You stay right here the whole time, because you know that you can do it. Thank you so much for listening to the Right Passion Podcast. I hope you've learned something from Power Rangers Ninja Storms. And go watch the show. It's on Tubi, Amazon Prime. It's on all of these streaming services. And figure out what else you can learn from these people or these heroes, because there might be something I missed, and maybe you could tell me so I can include it in the next video. Just let me know. But I hope you learned something. I hope you're taking notes and use this in your life and watch all of the changes happen as you go about your day-to-day life.